Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Leon Sylvester here, and in this video I'm going to be sharing 4 simple rules that I use to not drink alcohol. I've not drank now for 2.5 years, and these rules, listen, they are so simple to follow. And that's kind of something that I have to say before I give you the rules, is not to brush them off because they are so simple. If we really boil it down, not drinking alcohol is exactly that. It's a very simple action. You just don't drink. Yet so many of us fail. So many of us struggle on the journey. In fact, that's what I did for close to 10 years. It was 10 years of up and down living, roller coaster living, peaks and troughs, AA meetings, willpower, hangovers, throwing up blood on a computer. I've done it all. Yet the reality is the act of not drinking is so simple. I want to make things as simple as possible for you as well. And now these rules that I'm going to give you are rules that I've personally lived my life by for the past 2.5 years, but they're also rules that people in the Sober Clear program go through. So I run a business called Sober Clear where we work with business owners and professionals, helping them stop drinking without AA, willpower, and rehab. And we do it through a reframing process. And I give the same rules to those exact members. So make sure to watch all 4. Let's jump into it. And very quickly, guys, if you are new to the channel, do make sure to hit subscribe and leave me a comment on this video. Just let me know which of these rules was your personal favorite, and do you have any other rules that you personally follow? So the first rule that I follow is that I made the decision to be a non-drinker. I follow the rule of being 100% committed. I am all in. So previous attempts to stop drinking, like for example when I used willpower, I wasn't all in. I had stopped drinking, but I didn't know how long it was going to last. There was always part of me that knew that I would fail. There was always something kind of in there just saying, just get through today, just get through today. If you get through today, you'll be okay. Get through today, get through today. These days, there is no getting through today anymore because I made a decision. And when I say a decision, it's the same way that I made a decision to make this video. I press record, I'm making the video, there's no getting out of it now. I've made the decision to press record. The same way that when I moved to Thailand and I made the decision to go, when I booked that plane ticket, I was all in. I was getting on that plane and I was not going to chicken out. I was making a decision. And the difference between making a decision and trying something and being a bit fickle about it makes all of the difference. Making a decision is completely different to trying something. And the thing is, when it comes to alcohol, is you've got to decide. You have to make a decision. That's the only reason why you may still be struggling right now. It's because you haven't made a decision. And the power of such a simple decision can change every single area of your life, bar none. Being a non-drinker was the best thing that I have done in my adult life. It has changed my life in every single way imaginable. From a better relationship, from better health, from a better career, from starting this business, moving to Asia, moving in this amazing villa that I'm in right now in Koh Samui, Thailand. This all came from stopping drinking and being able to just keep making forward progress, being able to put one step in front of the other again and again and again and again and again ad infinitum. It is that simple. I made a decision and I got fully committed to that decision. The way that my mum made that decision, because my mum hasn't drunk for 20 years, is she went to AA. She went to AA meetings. She said, I am going all into this program. This is it. This is my savior. This is what I'm doing for the rest of my life. She committed to that. My experience in AA wasn't like that. I went, I give it a go. I did it for 100 days, something like that, but I wasn't that committed to that program. I couldn't see myself doing that program long term. And what I did is I used a mental model called first principles thinking, and I built this paradigm where I started to see alcohol for what it was. Once I'd done that, the decision was just so simple. It was just like this flick of a switch, I'm done. It's finished. And I live by that every single day. I live by that decision, and it's what the other members of the Sober Clear program also live by. It's that all-in decision. So that's the very first rule. The next decision that I made was to start to be more aware of the inputs around me. What do I mean by this? I mean that we live in a society that is rampant with alcohol. Put on the news, put on a TV show, put on a movie, walk out the door of your house. Alcohol is going to be there. It's a part of our society. It's going absolutely nowhere. Not anytime soon anyway. But I made a decision to be aware of the inputs, to be aware of all of these things. And these days, I still see alcohol, I still go past it, I still go to restaurants where alcohol is served, my friend might order a drink, but I'm aware. And what I mean by this is that I see it in a different state of mind now. I don't see an alcohol advertisement as what it says on the tin. I don't see the guys or cheersing with their beers in a rugby club and whatever, or I can't think of any good alcohol advertisements anymore because I'm just numb to them now, but I don't see it and buy into it. I'm aware of it, I can see what's going on, and that's enough for me. I can just kind of almost take like this bird's eye view of the situation and say, wait a minute, like is this even legit? Is this even real? And not only that, but I'm also aware of other people around me, other people that drink alcohol, and how they put inputs into us as well. Because other drinkers can make you question your decision. They can start saying, why would you want to stop drinking? Alcohol's a pleasure. Alcohol's a genuine great thing that we can enjoy. How are we going to enjoy the barbecues? How are we going to enjoy our life without a drink? Why don't you just have a few drinks here and there? And these days, I am so aware. I know straight away that if somebody is doing this, they don't have my best interests at heart. The only reason why they are encouraging me to drink is because I'm making them feel guilty of their drinking. That is literally literally it. And the only reason why they're drinking in the first place is to feel how I feel all of the time, because I have no desire to drink. That's the only reason why a drinker drinks, is to feel no desire to drink. They're relieving a craving. They're buying into the illusion. That is it. So these days, I'm just hyper aware of it. I see it for what it is, without the labels, without the BS, without the conditioning. And if you want a little bit more information on this, make sure to click up here. There's another video for you to watch that talks about the conditioning. We go really deep into all the different areas of that. Click up there, you'll be able to watch that video. So that's the second rule that I live by. The third rule is I really do have a rule to not avoid alcohol. Now, if I was to go out with a bunch of guy friends, we're going to a bar, right? We're going to a bar to hang out, to catch up, whatever. I am not going to avoid that place. I'm not going to say no just because alcohol is there. And the reason why is because, like I was just explaining, I see alcohol for what it is. I see it as a drug. I see it as something that does absolutely nothing for me whatsoever. So why would I avoid somewhere that's serving something that I see no benefit to? Hey, listen, I don't mean to make this sound like a crude joke, but if I ended up in a crack house for whatever reason, I'm not going to want to smoke that crack. And you could sit me in there for 5 days, I'm not going to want to do it, because I see it for what it is. It's a drug. The same way that if I go to a bar, I have no interest in consuming this drug anymore, because I see it in a completely different state of mind these days. And I'm sorry for the bad example, but I had to kind of make that point quite strong. And also, if I was to start to avoid alcohol, it would signify to myself that I've actually given something up in the first place. When really, when you see alcohol for what it is, you realize that there was not anything to give up in the first place. It's just a drug. It does nothing for you whatsoever. And this is actually something that I get people to do in the Sober Clear program. Once they kind of get to the end of the program and they're making that decision and what have you, I get them to go out to a bar. I get them to go on a date. I get them to do something that involves alcohol to really prove to themselves that they've got this. They don't need that to succeed. They don't need that to do the things that they want to do, because it did nothing for them in the first place. So how can it help them now? And it's literally one of the first things that people do. And that sounds completely counterintuitive, but I'm telling you, that is a rule that I live by. I do not avoid alcohol. And the fourth rule that I live by is to keep moving forward in my personal life. Now, I appreciate that some of you guys watching this, you may have stopped drinking and you may have to go and visit the past. You may have to go and see a therapist. You might have things that you need to go and deal with. And I'm not saying that that is not valuable, but when it comes to stopping drinking, it's got to go side by side with focusing on the future as well. It cannot just be about going in the past and beating yourself up, because if anything, that's going to make you feel guilty. And we know what guilt does to us. It can lead us down a slippery path. Now, the thing that I found to work best for me was to create a vision for my life, to create an actual dream, to create something that I wanted to work towards and just go absolutely all in, relentless focus. And what I ended up doing was creating this business, creating Sober Clear, moving to Thailand, getting my health back, getting into a relationship, moving to Koh Samui, coming to this villa. And I really just went all into my personal life. And I've worked with coaches, I've worked with personal trainers, and I've got a great support network of people that are really holding me to a higher standard. I think I've spent $18,000 in the past 6 months on coaching programs, on consultants helping me with my business, on all of these things, because I'm seriously committed to just becoming the best that I can be. I want 10 out of 10 health, 10 out of 10 relationship, 10 out of 10 in my adventure, in my environment. I just want everything to go to the potential that I can personally reach. And seriously, that is a rule. I'm all in to what's next. I'm going towards it no matter what. I ain't slowing down, and I feel dedicated to really, like I've said in the past, making alcohol irrelevant, just putting it behind me and just going forward, just going full steam ahead. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you click the video on the screen now, you can learn more about the conditioning, the thing that I was talking about before. Hope you enjoyed that one. Speak to you later.